that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kebe, Bandura. Okay, good afternoon once again. Welcome to this motivational program that I've started. It's a series on developing a positive mindset as a recipe for building one's self-confidence and self-esteem. And this is the 5th edition of the program that I started. Last week we talked about a very interesting topic, and it's called content but not complacent. And because of how big the topic was, I couldn't discuss everything, so I divided into 2. So last week, Monday, was the part 1. So today is the part 2 of today is the part 2. Okay, so today is the part 2 of the program I started on Monday. Last Monday I talked about how we can be content, and today I'm going to be focusing on complacency. So last week I highlighted some key points. First, I looked at what it means to be content, and what are some of the different ways that one can be content. And I said that the first thing you should do is try to stop and ask yourself why you want that thing or why you want that position. And I also said you can practice gratitude and acceptance and stop comparing yourself to others. And another ways that we can be content is understanding that there are always people that are less fortunate than us. We should practice patience, and we should also find joy and happiness in the simple things that we find ourselves doing or we are in. And I also went on and talked about why it's important to be content, and I listed few key points. First of all, one of the benefits is peace of mind. When you are content, you have peace of mind, and also happiness. When you are content, you find happiness, and happiness leads to good health. And I also talk about stronger relationships. When you are content, be it at work or in your personal relationship, maybe with your partner, you find stronger relationships when you are content with your partners. So those were the key things I focused on last week, Monday. And today I'm going to be focusing on the complacency aspect. Like I said, people often at times confuse the two terms, the two concepts, contentment and complacency. So I want to quickly remind you what contentment is about before I go to what complacency is all about, the actual definition, and we'll highlight a few points under complacency. So firstly, contentment, like I said, is not about being stagnant, okay? It's not about staying in one place. It's not about having no ambition, but it's rather about having an attitude of working hard. It's about being happy and satisfied with whatever outcome or results of your hard work. It's about being satisfied and happy with what you have, who you are, where you are, while anticipating an even better season to come. That is contentment. And that is actually the opposite of complacency. That is the opposite of complacency. Complacency is different from being content. Complacency, in my opinion, is the most dangerous place one can find yourself. If you find yourself in a position where you are complacent, then you find yourself in a very dangerous zone, because in complacency, there is no room for growth. In complacency, there is no room for growth. Now, let's look at what actually this word is about, what this concept is all about. What is complacency? Some people define complacency as the attitude of self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual deficiencies. That is complacency. That's one definition of what complacency is all about. An attitude of self-satisfaction, especially when accompanied by unawareness of actual deficiencies. And others may define complacency as an uncritical satisfaction with who you are, what you have done. Uncritical meaning that you have not critiqued what you were doing and how far you are, so it's actually the uncritical satisfaction of who you are and what you've done. That is another definition of what complacency is about. Now that we know what complacency is all about, how can one actually identify complacency? How can you know if this person is complacent? How can I know as a woman if I'm complacent? How can you know if you are complacent? What are some of the attitudes or what are some of the behaviors that point to one being complacent? Well, I just came up, there are a lot of attitudes or there are a lot of behaviors, but I'm just going to focus on two for now. The main one is laziness. If you find yourself in a position, or you know that you're a lazy person, then that's complacency. Being complacent is similar to being lazy. Some people are just so lazy, Some people are so lazy, they don't want to do anything. They look to someone, they look to people to do everything for them. And especially, okay, let's just say in the instance or in the situation of we women, there are some of us who are so very lazy that we look up to our men to do everything for us. We depend on our men to do absolutely everything. Even the little things that we should be doing in the home or in our relationship, we look to our men to do it. That's laziness, and that is an attitude of complacency. Okay? Sometimes we get upset at our current situation, but yet we still refuse to work to improve that situation. That is an attitude of complacency. A complacent person never works to reach their potential. A complacent person never works to reach their potential. Why? Because they feel that it is pointless. By working to improve yourself, you become content without being complacent. Okay? Working to improve yourself, you become content without being complacent. Okay? So for instance, finding a job, trying to earn money, or trying to further your education, and not supposed to passively sit back and just watch life go, and just go on. No. That is laziness. That is complete laziness. And for some people, perhaps maybe they fear that when they try to make an effort, they might fail, or lack of support from family, and they are not willing to take these chances. But that is complete laziness, because you can only be successful in something once you have tried it over and over again. You can make a try one time and then you expect it to be better. Okay? So if you feel that, oh, I'm not going to make an effort because I feel if I do it, I'm going to fail, then that's complete laziness, and that is an attitude of complacency, because you will never get there. Everyone, before you can reach a stage of perfection, you must fail. You must fail at certain time. You must fail. Some people they fail at a thing even more than 5-6 times. That doesn't mean that you should give up. You should keep on pushing, keep on working hard. But if you just sit back and just watch life pass you by, that is complete laziness. For our women, we sit there and allow our men, we want them to do everything for us, the little things in our homes that we should be doing to support our men. We are not doing it because we are lazy, and that is an attitude of complacency. Okay? That is an attitude of complacency. Another attitude of complacency is always shifting blame. Always shifting blame. They always look for people to put a blame on. Oh, I'm not this way because this person is stopping me. I'm not this way because this person is doing this to me. I'm not this way because if I do this and this person. No. A successful person, you should not be placing blame on somebody. What you want, you go after it and you get it. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can make you inferior without your consent. I said that the last time. Nobody can make you inferior without your consent. If you want something, you go after it. Stop shifting blame. Okay? Stop shifting blame. So let's for example, let's look at this story that they have in the Bible. For instance, the story about the parable that Jesus gave when the master called his 3 servants and give them gifts and talents, and he didn't tell them. You see, notice if you read Matthew chapter 25 from 14 to 30, you notice that the master didn't give them instruction on what to do with their gifts and their talents. He didn't say anything to them. He just gave it to them. He gave one servant 1 talent. He gave another 7 2, and give another 7 5, and it goes on like that. And when the master went, the one that had, let's just say for example, the one that had 5 talents, he worked on that 5 talent, and he made maximum use of it. He doubled it. He worked on it, he improved it, and he got 10. For instance, he got 10. And the one that got 6, or let's just say the one that got 3, he also worked on it and he got 6. But the one who had one talent, he sat there and said, oh, my master gave me one talent. What can I do with one talent? One talent is nothing. And he started to shift blame. What can you now do with one talent? That one talent can be a tool for you to even explore many talents. But sometimes we often try to shift blame on our failure. We try to pin it on somebody. This is not why I'm successful, or this is why I'm not successful because of this person, because maybe this person doesn't like me. Every time I try to make my effort at work, and they always make me to feel bad. Every time I work, I do my best at work. My boss doesn't see any good in what I do, so I'm not going to do anything again. That is wrong, and that is an attitude of complacency. Do not shift blame. If you didn't get it the first time, you keep on trying. If your boss continues to criticize what you do, you continue to do what you do and try to improve on it. That's the essence of criticism. The essence of criticism is not to get it and sit on it. The essence of criticism is to work on what you've been told that is your deficiency. That is the essence of criticism. Instead of sitting back and shifting blame and say, I'm not this person, or I haven't reached this far because I've often been criticized by my boss, or I've often been criticized by my partner. That is a complete attitude of complacency. Stop shifting blame. If you continue to shift blame, you find yourself nowhere. You will find yourself nowhere. Okay? Work on what you have. God has given us talents. He has given us gifts. Individual talents are gifts. Okay? We have to do our utmost best to value them, to improve on those gifts. Use them to better our lives and to also better the lives of others. No matter what that gift is, no matter what you want to use it, it may be in business, it may be in construction, it may be in music, it may be in dancing, it may be in whatever it is, that gift or that talent, whatever it is, that passion that you have inside of you. Whatever it is that you think you are good at, pursue that thing. Work to improve that thing. Stop shifting blame, because God has given everyone the talent, the gift that we need to be successful in life. You just need to utilize it. You just need to make sure because you already have the opportunity. You have the opportunity to bring maximum return upon that gift and that talent that God has given you. Okay? You have the opportunity to improve upon that talent or that gift, whatsoever it is. So don't shift blame. Don't shift blame. That is an attitude of complacency. Try to work on whatever it is. We have the mentality that everyone should be in office. No, not everyone belongs in office, okay? What passion do you have? Is it for music? If you love music, go for it. Put in your all. Be hardworking. And you will see where it will end up. Whatever that little thing it is, it can be in construction work. Put in your all. It can be your little business that you are doing. Put in your all. Okay? Put in your all, and you will get a good return. So stop shifting blame. Oh, I'm not this way because of this person. I'm not this way because this person keeps discouraging me. No. Use those discouragements as a yardstick to develop, to improve on yourself. Don't let it tear you down. Don't let it hold you down. Let those criticisms be the reason why you excel and not find yourself down. All right? Okay. So now that we know two main attitudes that I associated or linked to complacency, how can we overcome this? How can we actually overcome complacency? How can if I'm a complacent person, how can I really move from being a complacent person? How can I move from that stage? The first thing you can do, if you find yourself in a position or in the situation where you are a complacent person, you don't want to do anything at all, you just look up to everybody or you look up to people to do every little thing for you, the first thing you should do is consistently try, practice, consistently work at achieving your goals. We know the famous saying that faith without work is a dead faith. Faith without work is a dead faith. To overcome complacency, you must work consistently to achieve your goals, whatever that goal is. If it's a goal to become a musician, if it's a goal to become the best hairstylist in the world, if it's the goal to become the most successful businessman or businesswoman in the world, consistently work to achieving that goal. Do not be complacent. Do not sit back and let people to feed you. Do not sit back and let people to do everything for you. Work. That's the first step. Consistently work at achieving your goals. And don't feel that, oh, because my some of my peers, they are in office, they are doing banking work. No. It can be anything. It can be a business. It can be singing. It can be music. It can be just anything that you have passion for. Work consistently to achieve that goal. And do not let anybody criticism to hold you down. Even if you start your business at the first time and things not going well, keep on trying. Within due time, things will get better. Things will get better. Keep on trying. Consistently work. What did I say? Consistently work to achieve that goal. That goal of becoming the best musician in the world. That goal of becoming the #1 business tycoon in the world. Whatever it is. Work consistently. Do not sit back. Do not be lazy. Okay? Because that is complacency. By actively putting progress to a goal, you will stop a complacent mindset. By actively putting in progress to a goal, you will automatically stop complacent mindset. If you were someone who was very complacent, by actively putting progress on that goal, that thing that you want to do in life, just by working on it every day, doing something every day, you make sure you do something about it. You are putting complacency aside. It can be in any area of your life. It can be in your career, in your personal or relationship goals. Just by consistently working on your goals, you can put that behavior of complacency aside. Secondly, to overcome a complacent behavior, you have to find purpose and meaning in your goals. If you want to stop being complacent, you have to know your purpose behind the goal. You have to know the purpose behind the goal. If you don't have a solid purpose, it is time that you move on and find a new goal. Because complacency will always follow those who lack purpose. If you lack purpose, complacency will always follow you. So, you need to find a purpose, a solid purpose. And if you don't, then you need to find, if you don't find a solid purpose behind that goal, then you move on to another one, find another goal. Always ask yourself, for example, why do I want to achieve this goal? Why do I want to achieve this goal? Why do I want to become a musician? Is it something that I love? Is it something that will benefit me in the future? Ask yourself, why do I want to achieve this goal? If you should overcome a complacent behavior, you must find purpose and meaning in your goals. You must find purpose and meaning in your goals. If you should overcome complacent or complacency behaviors, you must find purpose and meaning in your goals. Ask yourself, why do I want to achieve this goal? What will it do for me? Could I be better at this? Okay, ask yourself these questions. And if you find out that there is no purpose or meaning to that goal, you just leave it and find another thing. I'm not saying leave it and then sit. No, I'm saying leave that. If you think that there is no purpose or meaning behind, or there's no way you can achieve that goal, maybe that goal of being a banker, then search yourself. There is something inside of you. There is something that you can do. There is a gift, there is a talent, there is something inside of you that you can work on, that you can improve on, and to be successful. And if being a banker is not the thing, don't allow it to hold you down. Don't allow it to hold you down. And don't do something because someone wants you to do it. Don't achieve or don't go after a goal because you are being pressured to do it, because your family wants you to do it, or your partner wants you to do it, or because if you don't find yourself in this position, then people might think this way. No. Your goals must have purpose and meaning that are meaningful to you. What will it mean to you? What achievement will you gain? Thirdly, to overcome a complacent behavior, you need to establish an unbreakable commitment to yourself. You need to establish an unbreakable commitment to yourself and increase your personal standards. To overcome a complacency behavior or attitude, you need to try to establish an unbreakable commitment to yourself and try to increase your personal status or standards. And what do I mean? You need to set goals, like try to eliminate. In order to eliminate that complacency, you must upgrade your personal standards. Try to clearly define what is and what is not acceptable. No exceptions. Try to define what is and what is not acceptable. That is establishing unbreakable commitment to yourself. And this begins by making that commitment that you are beginning is, you have to decide, say today, I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm not going to delay anymore on this goal. Today is not a day to procrastinate. I'm not going to procrastinate on this goal any longer. This is not acceptable. That is a standard. That is an unbreakable commitment and standard you are setting for yourself. Say to yourself that you are not going to allow anyone or anything to distract you from achieving your goals. Try to say to yourself that no matter what happens, you will make progress on this goal. You will not settle for good enough. That is good enough. No. You will always rise up to the occasion and finish what you started. Those are unbreakable commitment and personal standards that you can work on if you should overcome complacency. You must decide to stop making excuses and relentlessly pursue your goal. Stop making excuses in every little thing you do. Stop making excuses. Make that decision. Say, today I must stop making excuses. Today, I must make sure I do not procrastinate in achieving this goal. Say to yourself, today I will not allow anything to distract me or anyone to distract me. No matter what happens, I am going to make sure I progress on this goal. No matter what happens, I'm not going to settle for less. I'm not going to settle for good enough. I'm going to rise up to the occasion and I'm going to finish what I started. If you just put on that mindset, there will be no room for complacency. There will be no room for complacency if you just put on that mindset of establishing that unbreakable commitment and increasing your personal standards if you should achieve your goals. Okay? And the last point for you to overcome complacency is remind yourself that you are running out of time. Always have that in your mind. I am running out of time. Time waits for no man. Put that in your head. Just keep it there. Let it be stuck there. That time waits for no man. I'm running out of time. If you create a sense of urgency in your life, you will immediately stop complacency. Because complacency thrives in goals that are not time sensitive. If you have a goal that is not time sensitive, you will find complacency creeping in. Okay? So try to create a sense of urgency in your life. Try to eliminate complacency. Create a timeline. Create a deadline. You must commit to achieving a goal. Set a timeline, a specific period, or a certain period of time that you cannot allow yourself to continue to procrastinate, because you are running out of time. Always say that to yourself. I cannot allow myself to procrastinate. I cannot allow myself to delay because I don't have time. If I don't make progress to achieve this goal today, when would I do it? In a month? In a year? 5 years from now? What if that never comes? What if I don't have the opportunity to do that? Do I want the last moments of my life to be filled with thoughts of if I were known? Is that what you want? If I were known, is that what you want? Try to set timeline so that time will not come and then you be stuck and you say, oh, if I knew, I would have put more effort to do X, Y, Z. If I knew, I would have done this, I would have done that. Of course not. That's not what you want. You don't want to be part of the if I were known people. So always set timeline and always remind yourself that you are running out of time. Today is today. Today is the day to achieve that goal. Not tomorrow. Today is today. Make little progress on every little goal that you have. You don't have to finish it today. Start on it. Start building on it. Start improving on it. Instead of just sitting back, try to make progress. Try to make progress. You graduated from college. You graduated from mass communication department. You want to become a journalist. What are you doing to become a journalist? Are you just sitting home and listening to people, reading the news and admiring people? What are you doing to pursue that goal? Are you keeping that mindset that time is running? Time, you don't have time? Are you keeping those things in your mind that you need to work on that goal of becoming a journalist? Go and apply for a job. Even if you can start as a volunteer, you do not need to immediately start working for money on the spot. Start as a volunteer. Just start somewhere. Start somewhere. Today is the day. As the old saying goes, the best time to start was yesterday, and the best time to start is today. It is now. You have the present moment. Make it count. Make it count. Do not wait for tomorrow. You don't know what tomorrow brings. Do not keep paddling things for tomorrow. Do not make your last moment to be full of thoughts of if I were known. Do them while you can. Make an effort while you can. And stop being complacent. Complacency loves to strike people who undergo failure. Complacency loves to strike people who undergo failure. So if you fail once, do not stop. If you fail twice, do not stop. Just keep on trying. There will be a positive reward. Keep on trying. Complacency loves to make people think that once you fail, you will not do well the next time. Do not listen to that. You will do well. That's why you should also be willing to accept criticism. Because if someone criticizes you, use it as a means to improve yourself. Use it, and not as a means to discourage you, to sit back and feel sorry for yourself. There's no time to feel sorry for yourself. It's time to move on. It's time to make progress. It's time to achieve your goals. It's time to keep in mind that time waits for no man. It is time to set standards, timeline to achieving those goals that you have. You have the opportunity. You have the opportunity to pursue that goal. Do not allow complacency to take over. Do not allow complacency to take over. Complacency and contentment, they do not work hand in hand. They are two different concepts. Complacency is dangerous because in complacency, there is no room for improvement. There is no room for improvement. So overall, let us strive to overcome complacency without losing sight of contentment. Let's try to be happy and satisfied with what we have, who we are, where we are, and at the same time consistently improving ourselves. Improve yourself. Get what I say. Let us strive to overcome complacency without losing sight of contentment. Let us try to be happy and satisfied with what we have, where we are, who we are, but at the same time consistently improving ourselves, consistently working hard to achieve our goals the right way, not the wrong way, the right way, using the right channels, not using shortcuts. No. If you fail one time and you say because you fail one time so you give up, or because you fail one time so you want to use the shortcut, no. You may use the shortcut to get there. You may use that shortcut to get that position, but that doesn't guarantee your stay there. It doesn't guarantee your stay there. So keep on trying. Do not allow failure to hold you down. Keep on trying. And do not take shortcut. Be content, yes. Be happy, be satisfied with what you have, with who you are, wherever you are, but also work to improve your status. And when I say work to improve your status, I mean do it the right way. Do it legally. Don't use the bypass. Because all those things will just backfire. It will just backfire on you. Okay? It will backfire. So let us try to overcome complacency and not lose sight of being content. Thanks to everyone who joined me today. And I'm sure most people are always busy during this time because it's like 2 o'clock. I start 2 o'clock on my side. So in Liberia, it's usually around 12, and I assume that most people are always busy. That's why we don't have people following immediately and always follow maybe after. So I also thought about that and decided that I'm going to push the program time, to later in the evening. To I'm thinking of pushing it to 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm sure by that time most people would have been a bit less busy to be able to follow, because I don't want to just sit here and just talk because I feel like talking. I want to make impact. I want to share positive thoughts. I want to spread the positive energy to people. I want to share the energy that people will start to put on a positive mindset. And these are some of the positive mindset that we can put on. The mindset of getting rid of complacency and embracing contentment as well. That is the mindset that I need to spread out to the world. So I will be really glad if I have people following, if I have people making their contributions. So I'll push it to 6 o'clock my time. So 6 o'clock my time is gonna be like 4 o'clock in Liberia. So I'm sure people might have time to be able to follow the program. So starting from next Monday by 4 o'clock Liberia time, I'll be doing the program at that time instead of 2 o'clock, because it seemed a bit sooner. Thanks again for following today. To Victoria, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. You always follow. I really appreciate, and I miss you also. I miss you also. Thanks a lot for following me. My people, let us try to put on a positive mindset as much as we can and embrace this world that we find ourselves in. Thank you so much for following the program. I'm just going to be playing my music for now. So if you have anything maybe to ask me or anything to say, I will respond. But that's it for today on the edition about content and complacency. Let me play a little music just to entertain myself a bit. I miss you all, Victoria. Tatus. Unfortunately, you came late, so maybe you can follow it later on. It's gonna be on my page, so you can follow the program later on. For those who missed the program, you can also follow later on. It's gonna be on my page. Patley Kamara, thank you for joining us.